After you stop explaining yourself, after you let them misunderstand you, there is a new temptation. You know it. You start saying things like, I don't care anymore. But be honest, sometimes when you say, I don't care, what you really mean is, I'm hot. Yes. Detachment is healthy, coldness is difference. And if you're not careful, you will confuse the two. Breathe this in. Let me tell you what happened to me. When I started setting boundaries, I felt powerful at first. I stopped explaining. I stopped chasing approval. I let people misunderstand me. And then something shifted. I started withdrawing emotionally, not in a peaceful way, in a guided way. I stopped opening up. I stopped giving warmth. I stopped giving softness. I told myself I'm just protecting my peace. But do you know the truth? I was protecting my pain. There is a difference. Let me tell you this. Detachment means I will not force connection. Coldness means I will block connection. Detachment is calm. Coldness is reactive. Detachment says I release what does not align. Coldness says no one gets access. That is not healing. That is armor. Let me tell you why it is so. When you've been hurt, when you've been misunderstood, when you've been dread, your nervous system wants safety. And safety can start to look like distance from everyone. But here is the danger. If you close your heart completely, you don't just block pain, you block joy too. I almost did that. There was a time I became emotionally quiet, not peaceful, quiet. I stopped sharing deeply. I stopped trusting easily. I stopped giving warmth freely. On the outside, I looked composed, but on the inside, I was tight. That tightness, that's not detachment at all. That is tension. And tension always costs you something. The goal of the toss is not to become unavailable. The goal is to become intentional. There is a difference. You don't respond from wounds. You respond from clarity. You don't withdraw from everyone. You withdraw from what harms you. That's emotional maturity. Before you detach from someone, ask, am I choosing peace or avoiding discomfort? Am I calm or secretly angry? Am I protecting my energy or punishing them? Be honest with yourself. Sometimes we say we are protecting our energy when we are actually punishing someone. That is not growth, that is ego. Breathe this in. Let me say something clearly. You can have boundaries and still be warm. You can say no and still smile. You can detach and still wish people well. Strength does not require harshness. The strongest people I know are calm, not bitter, not loud, not aggressive, calm, because they're not trying to prove anything. When you heal properly, you don't say, I will never trust again. You say, I will trust wisely. You don't say, I don't need anyone. You say, I choose who has access. That's different. One is defensive, while one is powerful. You were not created to be hard. Life may have forced you to survive, but survival is not your final form. You deserve peace without becoming emotionally numb. You deserve boundaries without losing your softness. You deserve strength without becoming distant. If healing is turning you cold, check your heart. You might still be carrying unprocessed pain. When someone disappoints you, instead of shutting down completely, pause, breathe, say less. But don't freeze your heart. Don't let your actions be measured, not emotional. When something ends, wish them well quietly. Don't stalk, don't curse, don't perform indifference, just release. Detachment is quiet, coldness performs. When you detach properly, you don't need revenge. You don't need closure speeches. You don't need dramatic exits. You simply step back and your nervous system stays regulated. That's growth. But listen carefully. There is something that makes people over detach, over give, over function, over serve, and then feel drained. Tomorrow we'll talk about it because some of you are not cold. You are exhausted from giving too much. Day 11 is all about stop over giving, and that one will expose something deeper. Be ready. I'll see you tomorrow.